Donis K. Lakey Norton Cooper. I was born in Myrtle Point, Oregon, and moved here when I was a year old on a homesteaded ranch. And so I had cousins and uncles and aunts and grandma and grandpas and everybody here at one time. And then my dad had 13 brothers and sisters. So he had to go to work instead of finishing school to take care of the family. Him and like maybe 4 or 5 other sisters or brothers. My great grandma Dora, and I think she was married to somebody named Al. Well, it came across from the wagon train days, and but I'm not sure how all that went. But
come across the Oregon Trail to come to. I think it was 1875 or somewhere around there. I would have to look that one up.
But my mom and dad had lived. Well, how they met was that my mom was a cook at Eden Ridge, and that's where my dad was a logger. And then he worked with my mom's dad, and so they introduced each other, and that's how it started. And then this house that I live in now was built in 1960, and it was given to me from my grandma. My brother Doug and another guy built it. So my first husband, Bill Norton, and I lived here, and like I said, we just kind of built it as we went along. We got married in 1959. So that's how this house got built. My dad had passed away when he was like only 54 of a massive heart attack. And I was going to Eugene Business College at the time, so that kind of did away with my schooling. I just came home. I would have been 19, I guess. Or no, 19.
Growing up on this ranch, we didn't have buses or anything that could come up here. So I had to walk a mile to school, to the main road, Reston, and then a mile back. And that was even when I was in first grade. And then at one time, the bridge that we have over this creek had washed out, and we had to ride a little, until they could get it built, we had a little raft that was pulled by a pulley that we would ride across the creek to get to the other side so we could get to school.
Took the place of my mom. She was driving before that, and then my sister drove bus before that, and then Linda drove for a while, so had lots of people in the family. And then I had the same route for 32 or so years, and I retired in 2000 and, well, yeah, I'll be 80 in this coming year, yeah.
My second husband was born in DeKalb, Texas, and he had met Faye, his first wife, by relatives that lived here at the time.
Well, when Tex was doing cabinets, he had lots of pieces of wood. So when the mill had shut down, he just took that opportunity to try to get into building cabinets, and he started out in our garage, and just word of mouth, he got, I don't know how many cabinets he's built. And so I got a scroll saw, I guess you call it, scroll saw, and I still have it. But I would make little figurines to paint. Yeah, I had done quite a few of those little wood things, and gave quite a few things away to people, and made clocks, crocheted, just learned how to crochet on my own. And I don't know how I even got started actually painting. My cousin Norma was an artist, and she just lives up the road. And I asked her one day if she would paint a picture of the barn that we used to play in when we were kids. And she said, well, you just do it yourself. And so that's how I got started painting. I had no idea I could even do any kind of painting. But she started having classes for people, and so that's how I just kind of got going. And I had wanted a picture of the barn because she had painted one for herself. And so I said, could you paint me a picture of the barn? And she said, well, I'm giving painting lessons, so you just come do it yourself. And that was how I got started. And then you have the first picture I painted. That was the first one I had started from her. And some in my closet that I don't like, but.
I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. And my 2 brothers are still alive. My brother and his wife, Joanne, we used to sing a lot together. Like at Christmas time, what we just had, we would always sing. And then we used to do a lot of camping. Forgot about the camping. We used to camp a lot. My first husband and I camped too. We would camp with my brother and we'd go water skiing, and Bill always drove the boat because he didn't want to, well, he didn't even know how to swim at that time. So he drove the boat, and I and Doug and all of my family would water ski and camp together. And then when Tex and I got married, we had all 5 kids through the summer, and then we would do a lot of vacations. So we went to Texas 2 or 3 times, I think, with the kids, and one time was just in a little old, well, it was good size, but it was a Pontiac. So we had 5 kids and 2 adults in Pontiac. No seat belts, and they'd push against each other, leave me alone, don't touch me, that kind of thing. All the places that we could take them to, Salt Lake, Flats, or what do you call them, Salt Lake. Had them swim, and they had salt all over them. We didn't have any place to wash salt off, so that wasn't a good idea. Situation with your dad going into the Navy, right? Umpqua Community College when you first got out of school. And you and him and your mom have been together ever since the 7th grade as far as loving each other. So that was just meant to be there. But he went to Umpqua, and then he worked in a mill while he was going to school, just for extra money. Oh, and he also had worked at a grocery store before he'd gotten out of school. He worked at a grocery store. And then he just decided he wanted to go in the Navy, and so your dad wanted to be with his family, which was good. And started back at the mill, and then when the mill shut down, he started being my mom's name was Lockwood. Mm-hmm. And then she married Croy, and then she married Lakey. And then my name was Lakey. And then married a Norton and a Cooper.
Yeah, I've had a good life. You know, it's been good. Had wonderful kids, of which my son has a wonderful grandson.
Coming generation. Like, I don't know what you're going to be up against. It's going to be a scary situation if we don't start loving each other again.